Good level-headed guy. I suggest we contact him. You tell your friends to contact him, and maybe we'll get some information.
The state started. The state
The state charter,
we
the
should be able to
state
find
charter
online
school
or-
board. Yes.
Yeah.
So he-
What if it takes is out of ordinance?
It's a commission. So Mike Jacoby, a local person, is on that. Mike is a good, rational guy. So please get your questions, comments to Mike. Okay, on item 3.
We're only on item 3?
Recognition of visitors. Tony Millay, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yes, I would. Yeah, come on, yeah.
If they're staying, I can stand.
It's just so you're close to the mic is all. So
Yeah.
Okay, I would just like to announce some endorsements that we've decided to make. The BEA has gone through a democratic process of endorsing candidates. We invited all 7 school board candidates to our hearing that was supposed to be on the 5th, but because of the snow, it was pushed back a week till last Tuesday on the 12th. 6 of the 7 candidates responded to our invitation, filled out a questionnaire, and then attended a hearing for an interview with our executive board. Among those, or the 6 that did come, and we appreciate very much that they've taken the time to come and speak with us, Tina Bleakley, John Gaspar, Gary Grisali, Sue Locke, Mike Papka, and Jason Stutes. The candidate that decided not to respond to us or communicate any of his answers to any of our questions, Jim Carner. Through that process, we had following a democratic Robert's Rule of Order process, we decided to endorse 4 candidates. Those candidates are John Gaspar, Gary Grisali, Mike Grizafi. Sorry about that, Gary. We'll get it. Mike Papka and Jason Stoops. Again, I'd like to thank those candidates for coming out, or all the candidates for coming out and taking the time with us. We did vote to endorse those 4 candidates. There was 1 candidate that we decided not to vote not to endorse, and that was Jim Carner, for his unwillingness to even come and speak with us. So thank you very much, and that's all I have for tonight. Let's make it a quick one.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Anyone from the BESPA here to address the board this evening?
No, I think she left.
Okay, good to go.
Okay, seeing none, and I'm going to ask this again, anyone in the community wish to address the board this evening? Or did we?
Did we wear them out?
Hopefully we got that out. Thank you. Okay, on to our consent agenda. First, is there any, Dr. Barshinger, our recording secretary, are there any items to be removed, added, or changed from the agenda this evening?
Yes, we will make changes to item 6.2.10. Sorry. Returning from leave of absence, we'll be adding Jill Ewing. 6.2.12, releasing probationary teacher, adding Deborah Welpley and Diane Wolf. And 6.2.13, we're deleting 2 names, Monica Hubble and Diana Wolf.
Okay, let's begin with our consent agenda this evening.
And for time, we just covered it.
Are we just-
Basis of time, read the Mr. Blake.
Okay.
Try something new.
No, not. I'm leaving in a couple of meetings. We're not going to try anything new.
Okay.
Approval minutes, Dr. Barshinger.
All right. Sorry.
He wasn't ready.
I was ready. I was on the old
Sorry about
new
that.
script. Would ask the Board of Education to approve the minutes, regular minutes for February 24th, 2013.
Okay, under personnel, Mr. Romanek, good evening.
Good evening. I'll try to do this as expeditiously as possible. Under Personnel 6.21, Employment Classified, recommend the employment of Ruben Alviar as a maintenance person. Item 6.22, amended retirement, ask the board approve the expedited retirement of Mike Vandelli at the end of this school year. Item 6.23, resignation certified, ask the board approve the resignations of April Duda, Adam Michaels, and Mike Putton. 6.24, retirement classified, would ask that the board approve the 4 retirements, Deborah Kraus, Rebecca Mitchell, Linda Oberg, and Linda Smith as presented. 6.25, resignation, would ask the board approve the classified resignations of Adam Bickle and Nancy O'Brien. 6.2.6, increased contract certified, Ask the board approve the increases in contract for Crystal Anderson, Lisa Kasparian, Linda Hathaway. As presented, 627, decreased contract certified. Would ask the board approve the decrease in FTE for Melissa Lowe effective next school year. 6.2.8, request leave of absence extension. Would ask the board approve Laura Starzik's request for an extended leave of absence. 6.2.9, request leave of absence. There are a number of leave of absences for Sandra Coster, April Duda, Katie Gabris, Jenna McKnight, Laura Papali, Megan Pecoraro, and Stacy St. Ange and Lindsay Wolf. Would ask the board approve them as presented. Return from leave of absence. Dr. Barshinger mentioned Jill Ewing being added to 6.2.10. In addition, would ask the board approve the returns from leave of absence of Crystal Anderson, Lisa Kasparian, Chad Hillman, Jill Robinson, and Jamie Schumacher. 6.211, exempt employment salaries. I recommend that the Board of Education approve the following annual salaries and hourly rates for exempt employees in 2 categories, division coordinators and registered nurses as listed. Release probationary teachers, as Dr. Barshinger mentioned, we've added Welpley and Diana Wolf to the list, and I recommend the board approve the release of the teachers listed in this item. And 6.213, approval of part-time assignments. It asks the board approve the list with the deletion of Monica Hubble and Diana Wolf as presented.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Romanek. On to approval of routine financial items. Dr. Munn.
The net payrolls in the amount of $1,258,569.56 for February 28th, 2013, and March 15th, 2013, in the amount of $1,099,851.83 are included for your approval, and I recommend approval as presented. Also, a complete listing of the bills for the Board of Education has been compiled. Totals for this month come to $1,808,972.09. I recommend approval as presented.
Okay, Treasurer's report, Mr. Iglesias.
I recommend the Board of Education accept the Treasurer's reports for the month of February 2013, which include the fund balance, expenditure summary, revenue summary, and investment summary.
Okay. 6.5, destruction of audio recordings. Dr. Barshinger.
Would recommend the audio tapes for September 13th and 27th be destroyed as they have expired.
Item 6.6, donations. Dr. Barshinger.
Would request that the Board of Education accept the donation of the Fermilab Bulldog from Bulldogs Unleashed events by the Goliath, thank you. Goliath family. The item is valued at $1,000.
Okay, item 6.7, 2, and 3, board policies. Dr. Barshinger.
Would recommend the Board of Education conduct a second reading and approve board policy, Section 6, number 280, grading and promotion. Conduct a second reading and approve policy Section 6, 290, homework. Also conduct a first reading and also approve minor revisions to Section 7, policy 190, student discipline.
Okay, 6.8, Custis and Pathway Extension. Dr. Mann.
I recommend the Board of Education direct the administration to complete an annexation petition to the City of Batavia for the piece of land commonly known as the walking path between Carlisle Lane and Bernadette Lane, legally identified as parcel 12-28-229-021.
Okay, thank you. 6.9, video conference equipment. Mr. Iglesias.
I recommend the board approve the purchase of video conferencing equipment from Global Enterprise Technologies at a cost not to exceed $50,000.
6.10, Illinois High School renewal. Lisa or Dr. Barshinger?
Recommend the Board of Education approve the renewal with the Illinois High School Association and adopt and abide by the Constitution, bylaws, terms and conditions, and administrative procedure guidelines and policy of the IHSA for the year 2013.
Okay, 6.11, RMS Magazine contract. Dr.
I recommend the Board of Education approve the renewal of the Rotolo magazine sale contract with Great American for 2013-14.
Okay, and our final item, 6.12, Rising Star District Improvement Plan. Mr. Newkirk.
I recommend the Board of Education approve the initial submission of a Rising Star District Improvement Plan.
Okay, that does conclude our consent agenda this evening. Any items on the consent agenda for board questions, comments, removal, or clarification? Greg Hodge.
On the annexation of that pathway, I'm rather familiar with that. Is there any, this is probably for Pat, any interest in or talk about possibly any work done in that once it's annexed or paved, graded, anything done?
Currently in the Walking Paths to School grant that the city and school district have jointly filed, there is work to be done where that would be paved. I know that we've been working with Karen Young from the city on that. I don't know the status of that grant at the moment, but it is grant work that eventually would pave the full distance of that path eventually.
This process, Greg, is just for a request from the city
Yeah.
to clean up maps and in and out of the township versus city.
That in this land of the north.
Yeah.
Any other items for questions, clarification, or removal? Okay, seeing none, I entertain a board motion for approval of the consent agenda as presented by administration, with modifications to
Personnel.
personnel.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Dremel, second by Hinderlong. Any further board discussion? Okay, please call the roll, please.
Roberts?
Yes.
Hodge?
Yes.
Hinterlong?
Yes.
Dremel? Yes. Blakely? Yes. Purpura?
Yes.
Klink?
Yes. On item 7, reported the administration, 7.1, listing post summary.
Shall I remain seated, or would you like me to go to the front?
You can remain, whatever you want to do.
Thank you, sir. I'm happy to present a brief summary of the listing post that we held on January 15th. Can you change the slide? The purpose, as you know, is to hear the opinion of community members regarding critical questions of interest. At the listing post, we had 10 participants in person, and we had 55 respondents online. Okay, slow down.
Should I go back?
It's okay, you can go on, that's all right, that's fine. We gave community members in advance of the listing post the opportunity to actually rank their top 3 questions. There were 7 questions. Of those 7 questions, we had 3 of them that were selected by community members or stakeholders. You can go to the next slide, please. Thank you very much. The first question was, what does state-of-the-art instruction mean to you? What can the district do to enhance parent partnerships, and what school and district information is valuable to you? For the in-person listing post, we did give stakeholders the opportunity to give comments of general comments. We did not allow that on the online survey. So the responses here are based just on those 3 questions. Next slide, please. The responses were reviewed, they were sorted by theme, and they were ranked by frequency. This was all done by myself. To the question, what does state-of-the-art instruction mean to you? We had 33% of the respondents saying that utilizing the latest technology to enhance instruction was what state-of-the-art meant to them. 15% said that cutting-edge techniques and best practices was what defined state-of-the-art. And 15% said that not focusing primarily on technology was what defined state-of-the-art. So we had some differences in opinion there. 9 and 4%, well, some are passionate and well-trained teachers. Others commented on preparing teachers for future college and career that actually should be students, not teachers. That's a typo on my part, I apologize. And then 4% said meeting students' needs would be what state-of-the-art instruction meant to them. Next question. What can district do to enhance parent partnerships? Developing better lines of communication with what 32% of the people said that they wanted to see to enhance that. 13% wanted improved access to information. 13% also wanted responsiveness to parent and student needs, and utilizing business partners, and then the list kind of goes on down. You can go to the next slide. District information is valuable to you. This actually is a question that was asked at the first listing post, and people ranked it as high enough to be asked again. And of course, information on district finances ranked number 1, with 18% of the respondents are ranking that. 13% wants general information from the school and the district. 12% wants information on the program, policies and decisions. 12% satisfied with information they're currently provided. And then others want information on services and supports for students, and then it kind of goes down from there. Anything that affects my student, upcoming events, district rankings, testing information, and good news about schools, students, and the district. And that's basically what we heard from our stakeholders, 65 respondents in total. Any questions?
Okay, any questions for you, Bill? Okay, thank you very much.
Great.
7.2, capital and staffing plans.
Who's toss-up question, Dr. Mon?
I actually thought you were doing an intro, but I'll be happy to.
That was my intro.
Yeah. Over the past few months, the board has received information about updated financial projections, updated budget numbers we discussed today at Finance Committee. And we reviewed the capital and staffing plan that's in the board packet for the 2013-14 school year. In February, we decided that next year's budget, we would try to add back in 3 specific areas. First was our investment in the capital projects. The board has received an updated capital projects list in January from Director of Buildings and Grounds, Pat Brown. We included the recommendation for which capital projects we would be engaging in next year, which would bring the total cost of capital improvements up to just under $1.1 million in our recommendation. And you can see, as the board directed us, we did emphasize some of the work at J.B. Nelson Elementary, including parking lot repairs, lighting upgrades, as well as the blinds throughout the entire elementary building is currently in Director Brown's plan. Also, one of the areas to invest in was bringing back some of the instructional programming and addressing class size. And Mr. Brad Newkirk, our Chief Academic Officer, can talk to the areas in which we're recommending to improve next year.
So in terms of improvements to the instructional program, it was really about reducing class size, but also bringing back teachers in a supported fashion, so making sure that we had adequate supports for our teaching staff. So the staffing plan that we're bringing to you tonight includes 7.5 FTE, full-time equivalent teachers, to be added back to all 3 levels of the school district in order to reduce class size and get closer to our administrative guidelines. In addition, we're seeking permission to begin an instructional coaching program, which would provide instructional coaching to teachers in a job-embedded, ongoing fashion where we could really support teachers in their quest for excellence. Many of our teachers spend long hours trying to get better. This is a support system for them so that we can facilitate their professional growth in an ongoing and job-embedded manner. In addition, the proposal also indicates the need, because of our appraisal system and instructional leadership within our buildings, the recommendation for 2 elementary assistant principals to support instruction at the elementary levels.
The third area that the board focused on in February was to increase our reserves towards getting to any type of full accrual methodology of accounting and avoid any need for short-term borrowing. And we believe that the plan we have before you will still allow us to make these improvements in our capital facilities, bring back some staffing for our instructional programs, as well as still provide a small surplus. We will be updating our budget projections over the next few months. Every board meeting from now till, really till we adopt the budget in September, you should expect to see some type of budget action taking place, whether it's amending the current year or actually looking at numbers for next year. We still have to work in the governor's proposed budget on general state aid and further prorations in transportation. As well as wait to see if any type of pension reform does get enacted fully in Springfield. But we believe that with our current projections, the plan that we have before you tonight will allow us to make these improvements and still achieve some type of surplus budget for the 2013-14 school year. We can answer any specifics on the pieces of the plan before you tonight. Otherwise, we'd ask you to approve this plan, which will be the basis for us building the budget.
And we'll authorize us to post these positions before spring break and start the hiring process, which will then come back to you as hiring decisions later on.
Okay, questions for Dr. Mon, Pat Brown, or Mr. Newkirk?
I brought this up at the Finance Committee meeting earlier today. We are currently operating under a resolution that says we will split any money from the TIF district that we receive, 50% toward capital improvements and 50% toward rebuilding our reserves, since the last 4 or 5 years have been a little tough on our reserves. And we've modified that a little bit by this resolution. And so my only recommendation would be that we revisit that resolution, bring it to the board, and modify it to match this. I'm not opposed to what we're doing here. I think it's good. But I think we need to get the resolution in line with what we're doing.
Yeah, for background, Mr. Perper is referring to a resolution the board passed, I believe it was December of 2011, at that point we were specifically talking about the surplus that was going to be coming, but we did word it to encompass all proceeds from the Aurora TIF that was expiring. So we discussed at finance, we're going to talk with our legal counsel to find out if we need to formally adopt a new resolution that allows us to expand instructional programming with this as well.
Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, I have a question about the instructional coaching. Adding 3.5 FTE. Are those going to be teachers on special assignment, or are those new employees, or what are they?
They'll probably be our current employees, just in a different capacity, because there are two different ways to institute instructional coaching, really hiring from without to come in and provide the instructional coaching and professional learning services. But really, our system is really about building trust with our teachers, that this is someone who's there to help them and support them. And we see that being facilitated more by someone that they already know, that they have a working relationship with. So this will be a new role for probably some of our current employees.
So they won't be on special assignment. They'll be taking a new position.
It's a new position within the district.
And I think every board member at their seat, from discussion today at Finance Committee, Mr. Newkirk provided the instructional coaching, the PDSA that we had worked on, so that should be in front of you as well to give you what of our initial planning for those positions contains. So we did provide that, but requested Dr. Mitchell.
So we have to get detailed information in the administration.
Please know that that's a draft, and that our intention is to work with whoever's identified as those instructional coaches to really refine and build that plan so that they have buy-in and that they have a say in what the framework looks like.
Can I ask a question about the coaching? Brad, are you going to oversee the coaching, or is that going to be the new human resource person overseeing the coaching?
I would look to Lisa to talk a little bit more about that, but really I see this as functioning as a curriculum and instruction. It may over time shift to that HR role, but probably staying here. We do have one district coach who will probably function as kind of the coach coordinator in really kind of making sure that the needs of those coaches who are placed at the buildings, that we gather those things and process those needs that those coaches have. So
will they be directly reporting that to you? Because we've had now you, and then there's two other people there now.
I think the framework
that's going to happen there.
The framework will be a district framework so that we can roll out something that is consistent and that we're building together. But the supervision of those coaches will be on the building principals.
Okay. And so that can be then, that building administrator can personalize what needs to be done in his building, or her building.
Correct. So you see there's a lot of things in the framework that we're leaving as placeholders because it's important to have discussions with principals about the instructional leadership role that a coach is playing with their colleagues. So we've purposely left some blanks in the plan in order to facilitate those conversations so that the principal and the coach have a good working relationship and they know where they're going with their coaching plan.
Great.
During that workshop, and Chris, you hit on a little bit about our goal or emphasis that we would like to work towards full accrual and making that a goal for us. At what point do we make that is that a resolution or something, or what point do we make that an item? That was more of a policy related issue.
It's more of a policy related issue. We talked a little bit today at Finance Committee about that. Some of the thing is, even though it is an issue that the board needs to concentrate on and start to head toward, we're not sure what kind of time frame we want to put on it, if any. Due to the fact we don't want the ability to replace tax dollars to have impacts on things like class sizes or something, something else that might be needed, even though it's a priority throughout the district with the board.
It's the end goal. I think it's about making progress, but Chris mentioned the most important part is making sure that we don't add costs by having the cash flow. So that's the number one priority in the short term, but the long term would be to get revenues and expenses aligned.
And I struggle somewhat with the term reserves. What that is it's not a reserve or extra money. It's money that we have borrowed from the next year's taxes during the slow economic times to help us get through a minimal amount of issues through these times. So the term reserves, people always automatically jump in and think it's a savings account, it's extra money. It truly isn't. It's to replace some of our cash that we are going to use for operation in the next fiscal year.
And Greg, in February, we left it at, we are going to draft policy language that we take to both the Finance and Policy Committee in the month of April. I believe there's one more policy committee in April. There is. And it was simply going to address that our goal is to build our fund balance towards full accrual. We weren't going to put a timeline in policy, but we were going to put the goal in the policy.
Any other questions, comments?
Dr. Barshing, you had said the teachers you were going to advertise after spring break?
We wanted to get those out before we left.
What about these positions? Is that something that will be?
All of them.
All of these, okay.
Teachers, coaches, assistant principals.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments? Not entertain a board motion for approval of the capital and staffing plan as presented by administration.
So moved.
Everybody.
And
I'll make it
second.
up. It's okay.
Pura and second by Hodge.
I'll make this one up.
Any further board discussion? I think Hinderlong was in there somewhere too. Any further board discussion? Kathy, would you call the roll, please?
Roberts?
Yes.
Hodge?
Yes.
Interlong?
Yes.
Dremel? Yes. Blakely? Yes. Capura?
Yes.
Link?
Yes. Student ambassador comments. Nick, good evening.
Good evening, I'll be quick. On Thursday, there will be a boys and girls track and field meet, boys baseball freshmen through varsity games, girls freshmen and varsity soccer on Thursday starting at 4:30 at the high school. And I am also hopeful to hear more about the K-12 online charter school issue in the future.
Okay. Nick. Yes. Superintendent's comments, Dr. Barshinger.
I've probably said more than I should have tonight already,
Yes, you
so
have.
I will stop. Move on.
President's comments. I just want to take this opportunity to, again, thank everyone on the administration who spent a tremendous amount of time reviewing this data, coming up with questions, coming up with ideas and things along those lines. And again, I also want to thank everyone, including the audience, for their professional attitude. This is a very emotional charged issue, and it can be a frustrating issue when it seems like we're working one-sided. So I do really want to thank the community that were able to make it tonight of holding their composure and not sharing their frustration, which I was able to see, quite extensively. So again, thank you very much, and again, thank you for coming out. And the only way we can really work on these things is to contact the people responsible, state legislature, people, this charter school commission or whatever it may be. Give them our opinions, voice our concerns, and really, we really want to do what's best for the kids in Batavia and the community, and it's frustrating when a proposal that possibly could be good for kids in the community comes to us with so many issues that we can't get the data from the individuals or the people presenting. As Mr. Papura said, we are elected by the community to do the best we can, make the best decisions for the community and for kids. And we do that by data. We do that by accurate data. And it's frustrating for us when we don't have the accurate data as well. But again, I want to thank board members, administrators, teachers, audience for their behavior and how we reacted tonight in a very difficult situation. So everyone have a good, safe spring break, and I will turn to board member comments. Kathy Roberts.
I'm good. I've said enough tonight.
Tina.
Good.
Nothing here.
Joe.
I'm good, thanks.
Greg.
Just one small one. You kind of hit on it, Nick. I would like to ask you to kind of poll the students or try to get an idea, feel what their take would be on virtual schools and whatnot. Some of them probably would like to stay home in their pajamas and go to class, but just to see what.
I actually already asked some students today once I heard about what this meeting was about. And all of them said the same exact thing to me was, so you're telling us we can sit at home, sit on our computer, go on Facebook, text people, and play games all day. Fact is, all of us realize school actually forces us to work, and we have someone there to help us when we need it. If we're at home on a computer, we're not going to get any work done.
Jack.
I want to thank Brett Newkirk, your Rising Star plan. Very nice job. A lot of hard work put into there. and what went on there. I read the plan, looked very nice. Kudos to you and your work with the committee. I hope that our schools are using the Rising Star the same way we are as a district. I do know that I went on, put my password in, and I can't go anywhere, so I'll have to contact you to figure out why my password doesn't make me go anywhere to look at any plans, but other than that. I also just want to comment to the public that the actions the board took tonight with regard to J.B. Nelson School and capital outlay, and also with regard to class size, to the public, we heard what you said, we have talked, we've thought about it, we're looking to do what the community says to us and what's best for kids in Batavia, and you saw that in the action of the board tonight. And the other thing I want to comment on is that I'm very excited about the coaching that we put into place tonight. I think it's going to pay off great dividends to the improvement of student achievement in our school district. But I encourage the board that this is only the beginning, and that we will need more coaches, and that I really would like to see us next year move to coaching at our high school level, because we really need, from my perspective, reading coaches at the high school to help integrate reading, because that's the area where we're not making AYP at the high school, across all academic areas to improve student achievement. So it's a good initial step, but as board members, as you continue, please continue to move the coaching along, because it will make a difference in student achievement. That's all.
Okay, thank you. We do have a closed session item on the agenda this evening, but there is no action to go into closed session, so we will not be entering closed session. Well, it's on there. Please, everybody, I would entertain a board motion for adjournment.
So moved.